I have been in this hobby since before there was social media. And the best kind of analogy that I like to use to give an example of what I'm talking about here is the going to talk to an old man story. So here's what I mean. Back in the day, I used to walk uphill both ways to school. No, it's not going to be one of those things. But back in the day, we didn't have access to the information that we all do right now. So if we were going to get information, you got it from one of a couple of places. You got it from the employee at the fish store. You got it from encyclopedias, which those are even before me. Maybe not before Ben, but I just can't stop. I'm on fire tonight. You got them from magazines or friends, people that you know, acquaintances. That's how you got your information on fish keeping back then. So do you want me to put you back on camera here?
Why?
Okay, never mind. Fine.
I mean, I don't care. So
this scenario would happen to me. It's probably happened to you, even in this social media world that we live in right now. It's happened to probably everybody. You go to a fish store, okay? Let's pretend like it's 1998. And you go to the fish store, and the employees at that fish store are busy because almost every fish store on the planet is understaffed except for Aquarium Co-op. And you're at the store, and the employees are busy, and so you decide you're going to browse through the store, and you walk upon this aquarium that's beautiful, and you see a fish in there that you've never seen before. Or maybe you've seen it in magazines, but this is your first time seeing it in person. And you look at this and you say, that's a gorgeous fish. And it just so happens that there's an old guy standing there looking in the same tank that you are. And so you're looking this thing and you're looking at it, and you do what people do. You look over at the old guy and you say, whew, that's a pretty fish, isn't it? Back then, that was known as a conversation starter. People don't talk to each other anymore. Old man today would probably go, get the hell away from me, you freak. But back then, we talked to each other. And so back then, if you were to do that, the old man would say, yeah, it is a pretty fish. And you know what? I used to keep that fish back in 1981. And when I kept that fish, we and he would go through this whole spiel on everything that he knows about that fish. And here's what would happen. I'm going to put you back on camera because the close-up of me is just an ugly thing to look at. So you would walk out of that store feeling good. Why? Because you learned something. You acquired knowledge that you did not have going in. You walk away going, that old guy was awesome. He told me everything I needed to know about that fish. And I know so much about that fish now that I'm thinking of getting one for myself. And maybe you bought it that day, or maybe you went home and you used the information that the old guy gave you, and you planned on setting up a tank to the specifications that he laid out for you. And then you're going to go back and hopefully they still have them and you're going to buy those fish. Okay, this is a scenario that happened to me several times. It's probably happened to you.
Were you the old man at KG Tropicals when Joey used to come? That's Bugman on here.
Joey is considerably younger than me, but how dare you make
he used to always come and hang out all the time, and you gave him advice.
Look, it's
so similar to what you're talking about.
I can make old man jokes to Ben Ochart all I want. You keep making old jokes about me, and I'm going to tell people how old you are. Live on YouTube. I'm
still younger than you.
Yeah, whatever. So anyway, folks, this is the point that I want to make with this, okay? You walk away from that store feeling good about what you just experienced. You just learned something. You feel educated. I choked on that word. You feel educated and you feel good about it. But at the end of the day, what you got was that old man's experiences. What you got is that old man's knowledge that he had acquired by keeping those fish. You didn't hear it direct from the scientist or the guy that's been studying these fish for 60 years and he's the one that discovered the fish in the rivers and all. No, you heard that from another fish keeper who was sharing with you his or her experiences with that particular fish. It doesn't mean that that person is an expert. And if you were to ask that old man, he would probably tell you, I'm no expert, but I'm just telling you right now, this is what I used to do with this fish and it worked for me. What he told you was what worked for him, but it might not work for you. You might go home and set up your aquarium exactly the way the old man said to, get the exact same size, the exact same filter, put the exact same kind of decorations in it and all of this, and set up your water parameters, because he said the fish likes it softer water, a lower pH, and you set everything up perfectly and you put those fish in there and they don't last 2 weeks, and you're going to end up saying, that old man don't know crap. He's a jerk. He's an idiot. He obviously doesn't know what he's talking about, because I did exactly what he said and my fish died. But the thing is, he told you what worked for him, and it worked for him. Another example of this kind of a thing, of the next point that I want to make, is when it comes to YouTube, what you see on YouTube, this is the part that I was saying, I think I can speak for every other YouTuber. What you see on YouTube is exactly what I was just giving you as an example of the old man telling you at the fish store. When you watch a YouTuber, you're watching that YouTuber's experiences. That YouTuber, whether it's us or any other YouTuber, they are sharing with you their experiences and what has worked for them. I've done that from the very beginning, and I've done things, that the rule books would tell you you cannot do. People aren't as hardcore with it anymore, but things like putting multiple arowanas in a tank, that used to be blasphemed. That used to be one of those things, if you did that, you were a joke and you were no real fish keeper. Now you can type in arowanas and you're going to get 25 videos with people that have multiple arowanas in there. They're not as militant about that anymore, but they also used to be that way in the very beginning of our YouTube channel with mixing African cichlids.
Oh, yeah.
Peacocks, haps, and bunas, and then, oh my Lord, if you throw frontosas in there and whatever, it's, people used to go crazy about that. And I used to always show, hey, look at my tank. The fish are healthy. They're happy. They're all getting along. Their fins aren't all chewed up. They're not all beat and ripped to shreds. The fish are fine, and they're in the same tank with all of these fish that you say they can't be with.
What really got me about that topic, since we're on it, let's take away the frontosa. Peacocks, haps, and mbuna are all from Lake Lord.
You can say that again.
Lake Malawi. They all originate there, and it's a huge lake, but is it sectioned off for only haps?
Right.
Only mbunas? Only peacocks? Are there no hybrids in there whatsoever? Do they know and they say, you're not for me? No, I mean, it's going to happen in a natural environment, in the wild. It's going to happen in an aquarium, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, and that's what I used to tell people all the time when they would say, oh, well, I heard you could only have peacocks with peacocks and you can't mix them with mbunas. And I explained that to them, and they understood it. It made sense. And
you could explain that while also saying, look, and show the tank. Mm-hmm. If you're new to the channel, we used to have, this is a 240-gallon tank right here, but we used to have a different 240-gallon that was more close in size to this one. It was 8 feet long, 2 feet tall, 2 feet deep. And we had a mixture of African cichlids in there, peacocks, haps, and mbunas. We had Victorians in there. We had plenty of Tanganyikans in there, a hodgepodge of everything. And when people would question that, we could say, there you go. It's right there. Look right there, and you will see that these fish can be mixed. But having said that, it's no guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee. Just because it's worked for me doesn't mean that it can work for you. That's the biggest thing that you have to understand. This hobby, this is the bold statement that I'm going to make here, okay? This hobby is 100% gray area. It is not a black and white hobby. It is not a you have to do it this way or you have to do it this way or else. It is 100% gray area, because you might have one guy that sets up a tank a very specific way and it works perfect for him. The other guy down the street does the exact same thing, or maybe across town, does the exact same thing, same setup, buys his fish from the same place, feeds them the same things, but because his water is from a different source, and because the exposure to the sunlight, and because of how long he's leaving his tank lights on, or the temperature that he has it set on, it doesn't work for him. but it works for this guy. This is 100% gray area hobby, and it is 100% based on experiences. Everything in this hobby is based on experiences, and everything that you learn on YouTube is going to be based on those YouTubers' experiences. So understand that it's not written encyclopedia. It's not written in an encyclopedia. When a YouTuber says it, the YouTuber is sharing with you what they know and what they've done. And if it doesn't work for you, that doesn't mean the YouTuber was wrong. If I tell you right now that you can easily mix haps and peacocks, everybody knows you can, but I'm just saying for the sake of this conversation, you can mix haps and peacocks together in the same tank, and you put them in your tank and they all kill each other. Does that mean that this tank doesn't exist?
Well, and it just depends on what size tank you put it in. If you tell somebody, oh yeah, you can mix haps and peacocks, and they go home and stick a bunch of them in a 20-gallon tank, well, duh, they're going to die. They're going to kill each other. So it is important to be specific when you give people advice too.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And I don't think I've ever seen on YouTube, and I've been watching YouTube as long as I've been making YouTube videos. I'm going to turn the air conditioner on. Y'all are getting me all steamed up in here. Warm. I've been watching YouTube videos forever. And I can honestly say I do not recall there ever being a YouTuber that I've watched and I've said, you know what? That YouTuber is deliberately giving wrong information. I've never seen that. I've seen people give information that I don't agree with, and I'm sure I've given information that others don't agree with. But I've never seen somebody that I was like, oh man, that guy is going to get ripped apart because the information that he gave is so wrong. No, because what that guy's saying is what he has experienced. It's what he or she has done. So we all do this differently. We all have different circumstances, and it doesn't matter what my circumstances are. They might be different from yours, and the same setup might not work for you, I guess is kind of, it's the point that I'm trying to make here.
And that's why it's so important to get your information from other sources. Like get those monthly magazines sent to your house, or order some random books. Like I love searching up books that are from like the 70s and 80s. I want to see what people wrote about back in the day, and you know, even farther back too. I just love to hear about it and read about it, and it not be on YouTube. I think it's super important to get your knowledge and all of your information from different sources, and not depend on other people that may have done the exact same thing and just Googled it and looked on Wikipedia, or maybe read information out of some other source and copied it and set it on YouTube. It's important to get your information from several places if you really want to know about something. I guess that's all I'm trying to say.
You know, this whole subject, I love when people say nice things about me. This whole subject can be summed up with Concregation's Gloria's comment. My husband isn't into fish, and he heard John and says he's absolutely right. What works for one doesn't work for everyone. I love that.
And that isn't just with fish keeping. That's with raising kids.
It's certainly not. I mean,
it's about a lot of things.
It applies to everything in life. Now, where I was talking about the introduction of social media into this is, I think that a lot of people, you've got people that hopefully their eyes are opened by this, and they're like, yeah, you know what, that's true. Even though I really trust John and Lisa or any other YouTubers, I don't like even saying names because then people get mad, but I really like that person and I trust that person, but I'm going to watch others too. I'm going to read other articles. I'm going to read a couple of books, and I'm going to get as much information as I can. I'm going to take all of that information and I'm going to put it in a big pile, and I'm going to put it all together, and I'm going to form my own opinion. That's what I hope everyone does. Mm-hmm. But then you're going to have other people that are going to completely ignore it. And I mean, whatever. I'm just another social media guy sitting here talking about social media. But there are the people that also, when they see something that they disagree with, rather than looking at that and saying, I disagree with that guy. we don't have the same opinion on that thing. They go and they try to just completely trash that person. My hope, okay, is that people will watch this. You that are watching this, 301 people right now is what mine is saying. Thank you to all of you for watching this. My hope is that you will share this with people, even if it's the re-upload of it tomorrow that I do, where it's just the main topic, whatever. If you share this out to people, hopefully it'll open their eyes so that the next time they watch a video on Facebook, which I'm not even a part of anymore. I mean, I'm a member of a couple of groups. I actually accepted an invitation to a group today, and I did that, and I was like, I don't even know why I did that. I don't go on here. But I'm off of all of that kind of stuff, because people will see someone that is making a mistake, or they'll be delivering information that's based on their experiences, and the people will just rip them apart for it. Hopefully those people will see something like this, and it'll give them, they'll just take a step back for a second and say, wait a minute, that weird bald guy who makes all the old man jokes, he was saying, wait, that's just that guy's experiences. Maybe I'll leave this alone. But instead, what people do is they make it a personal mission to prove that person wrong and try to tear that person down as much as they can. Now, my natural instinct is to always try to bring people up. I don't try to push people down. That's never been my style. But unfortunately, the majority of the internet doesn't work that way. And I had an experience with this that kind of applies. No, it doesn't kind of. It exactly applies to what we're talking about. I'm not going to give names. Trust me, you don't know the idiot that did this, but there is another YouTuber involved in this. So anyway.
I'm excited now.
Well, you lived it, so you know the story.
Oh.
If you've got young children in the room, make them do with earmuffs. This jackass decided to get me involved in something that I shouldn't have been in, that was not a thing. He tried to make it a thing. He tried to start a beef. Yeah, a 45-year-old man just said beef. What a weirdo. But he tried to start a rift between me and another YouTuber, a YouTuber of prominence. And he did this by basically taking something completely out of context and presenting it to that other YouTuber as if it was this big scandal. The other YouTuber saw it, messaged me, said, hey, what's this? And I said, man, look, this is what it is. And I explained it, and he was like, oh, whatever. And it was all forgotten about. But the guy persisted. He kept on going. And I ended up messaging him on Facebook. This is when I was still on Facebook, that crazy cesspool of a place. And I said, dude, did I do something to you? Do we have some kind of a problem? Because I don't know you. I've never seen you before. I've never seen you comment on anything I've ever done before. What did I do to make you so mad? And his answer was, I wish I knew it exactly, but it was, when you stop telling people that you can mix African cichlids in the same tank, I will take you seriously. But until then, I am going to make it my mission to destroy you. Yeah.
I remember this vaguely, but I don't remember who it was.
This
honestly.
guy was so bent out of shape about the fact that I had peacocks, haps, and mbunas in the same tank, living perfectly. They were happy. They were healthy. And they were beautiful. Go back and watch the videos. You'll see it for yourself. That made this guy so mad that he decided he wanted to trash me and tear me down. He obviously wasn't successful, and I don't even remember the guy's name. He's an idiot. But that is how upset this guy got. But the problem is, he could have just looked at the videos and seen, there it is right there. How are you going to tell me that it's impossible to do this when it's right there in front of you? And so that's how it applies to this. It doesn't mean that I'm right and that everything that I say is right. What it means is I've done it, there it is, it's perfect, and it worked out well for me. If you hate me for that, that's weird. It's weird to me that somebody would hate a person and want to destroy their reputation online because they're doing something that they don't agree with.
It's all about drama. Some people thrive on drama, and they just want to start things between people. I believe that. I've seen it. Anyway, but it's just, it's all about drama, and it's ridiculous.
There's a lot of people that thrive on that. Waterbox is one of them. I mean, he's a drama. He just fuels all the drama. He says, I totally want to trash you because you're a beautiful baby. That's good. Bring some humor into it, because I got mad. I'm all sweaty. But
so,
yeah.
I mean, you just got to, like, take it with a grain of salt and be like, whatever. If somebody wants to start stupid stuff, you've just got to be the better person and either ignore it or walk away. You know, just do your thing, worry about you, and not worry about that person, because there's way more people out there. There are, how many other subscribers? 116,617 more subscribers, and you don't need to worry about that one that has an, I don't know, problem. So
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't want to make this all a conversation about drama online. I mean, believe me, I could do 2 hours on that, but
we have 3 teenage girls. Well, no, they're not teenagers anymore.
No, only one of them's a teenager now.
One's a teenager and 2 are in their 20s. But anyway,
I accepted the fact that that's just the way the world is right now. Everybody thinks that their opinion is important, and they put it out there, and this is why I don't do social media. I mean, I have a Facebook account. I own a Facebook group. If you want to call it own, I mean, it's not like I paid for it, but there's other people that deserve it more than I do. But I'm on there basically so that people can get a hold of me. That's really the only reason I have a Facebook account at this point, because I like to use Facebook Messenger. Then you're not giving your phone number out to everybody. But that group that I joined today, I joined it because it was like, well, there's people that I know in this group, and they might want to get a hold of me, and they can do it through Facebook now. So there you go. That's why I joined it. But I
think I'm more involved in cat groups now on Facebook than I am fish groups.
You are completely obsessed with social media, and you know you are.
No, not
it's
completely.
A problem.
No, I did really good today. I didn't go on Facebook. No, I have not been on Facebook all day today, John. I promise.
Look in my eyes and see how much I believe her.
No, it's really true. I've not been on Facebook today.
Well,
and
anyway.
I'm thinking, it's true. I have not been on Facebook today.
There are too many friendships lost. There are too many. I mean, there's been deaths associated with social media posts. I don't have time for all that garbage. No way. I mean, YouTube is social media. It's the biggest social media platform on the planet. So I can't say that I'm completely detached from social media, but maybe it's just Facebook and Twitter that I want to stay away from.
Kevin,
I don't know.
I did not like your post today. That was yesterday.
Yeah, tell on her.
No, it was
tell
yesterday.
On her.
It was totally yesterday.
Good job, Kevin.
Sure, I have not gone on there. I know I haven't. It was yesterday. I've been busy today running a kid around. So anyway.
Yeah, well, oh, here we go again. Yeah, we'll get into that in Lisa's world. But I don't know. I hope I didn't just completely go off the rails there.
But get down.
But the point that I wanted to make, the number one point, forget about all the social media stuff and all that kind of stuff. Understand that when you watch a YouTuber, there are tons and tons of YouTubers that are making videos about fish keeping that are way smarter than me. And I accept that, and I acknowledge that, and I'm glad for that, because who wants to be the smartest guy in the room? No way. And if you've only have the smarts that I do, then shame on you. But there are so many YouTubers that are smarter than me. There are some YouTubers that give better information than me. There's no doubt about that. But it doesn't matter who it is. When you are watching YouTube, understand that you are gaining information from that person's experiences. That's all. And this is a gray area hobby. What works for one person might not work for you. It's not a black and white hobby. About the only thing black and white about fish keeping is that water is wet. That's about the only thing, and that's glass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, other than that, there is no black and white in this hobby. It is 100% gray area. Understand that. and gather as much information as you can about whatever it is that you're trying to learn. Don't take the word of one person, even if that one person is me. I'm going to tell you what I've done, and I'm going to try my best not to steer you in the wrong direction. But what works for me might not work for you.